always, just getting ready to turn on the YouTube channel to see who is joining in. If you guys are joining in live tonight, please feel free to jump into chat. We will, mention you as we go. But first off, before we get started, I just want to go ahead and do the disclaimer. I am not able to treat or prescribe or any of that stuff. I am not a medical professional or therapist. I just come on to Survivor Girl to talk about things that I have experienced, touch on topics that maybe you have been going through, that I've gone through, to kind of and hopefully uplift and inspire those that are listening as well. So I'm thankful that you guys are joining in tonight and hanging out with me on a wonderful Survivor Girl Sunday. It's a little bit doomy and gloomy out, but we're going to get into that and talk about a little bit of how that kind of can alter your moods and whatnot. So I just want to get started a little bit and give some shout outs and a couple things. I want to thank everybody who tuned in last week. We had a really cool show. A lot of times I try to figure out what I'm going to talk about beforehand, but sometimes I just don't know. And, it's hard to know what points I'm going to actually touch on. It's kind of a little bit easier when I have a guest on because they talk about their story and what they've gone through, and then I kind of interview with them and ask questions that maybe you guys are interested in knowing, or things that just kind of come to mind as we're talking together. So I want to be honest, it's a little bit gloomy out, a little bit doomy out, and it just kind of felt one of those days where you just want to stay in bed and kind of sleep. But again, I just want to go ahead and give a couple shout outs and whatnot. This week has been incredible. There's been a lot of really cool stuff happening. I worked 4 days this week and have been amping up and ramping up for Shipshawana that's going to be happening. And also with the Dragonfly Boutique stuff in Hometown Handmade, they are actually moving to a bigger space. And we got a chance to stop in Saturday, see the new location, and help kind of move some of the displays and different things over to the new store, which is awesome. It's a really cool spot. It's in Emily City at 130 East 3rd Street. So it is on the main strip. It's next to Jalisco's Deli, which is a really awesome restaurant, and a couple other things downtown. Hopefully, the town's starting to kind of build up a little bit. There's different things that are downtown that you can check out, and also check out Hometown Handmade. There's a lot of really cool vendors, artisans that are in there. There's 10 right now. And they're looking to actually expand because we have more room now to bring in other people that make homemade, handmade stuff. So if you guys are interested, please go ahead and message Mary at Hometown Handmade on the Facebook page, or Mary's Handmade Creations. You can also message there as well. It's been posted all over different pages too, so that people are able to bring their stuff or get a hold of her to bring their stuff in. So it's a really cool experience, a cool story. Like I said, I want to get her on the show so we can talk to her about the whole feel good story of Hometown Handmade and what it means for not just her, but for her family and for everybody that's come along on this really cool journey with the store. So I'm hoping to get her in. But like I said, Shipshawana is coming up next weekend. So I will not be having a show next weekend because it's going to be a very, very cool, busy weekend going down to Shipshawana. And if you guys get a chance, I think, I want to say there was 300 vendors, but I could be wrong on that. But it is very big and packed. I've never been before, so this is a new experience completely, and I'm looking forward to that. I want to give a shout out and thank you to Mary and Rodney for telling me about it and encouraging me to do this stuff. In life, it's interesting how you meet just certain people that are able to help you go, okay, but you have some cool stuff, or you can do this, or why don't you try this out? Not just family support, but when you meet friends and are new friends and they believe in you, it's a really good feeling. And you really want to try. You want to do something different or push the forward what you're trying to do. So that's really cool. Got some people already jumping in on chat on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys really quick about that. Adam says, coming in great, sounding fantastic. It's fantastic. Thank you. Also, Rodney joined in, said, we love to hear you talk about anything. Your voice is like a nightingale in song. Thank you, Rodney. Mary says 180 vendors down in Indiana. Okay, so I was way off there. But I think they were talking about opening up another building because they had so many coming in. I'm not sure. But you guys can follow that on the Shipshawana page, which is really cool. So we're looking forward to that. We are heading down all together, caravanning, and going to go set up and stay together and have a really awesome weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. I know we have been kind of touch and go with everything that's kind of happening in the world right now, and to be able to do something cool like this is just awesome. It's a really good feeling, you know. Just like when I was talking about the store and being a part of that, it's a really good fuzzy warm feeling, and that's kind of how I feel when I get to go to the store because it's handmade stuff with love from people, and I really like that whole idea. And Mary's saying she can't wait. So thank you guys for tuning in and talking in the chat. I appreciate that very much. I don't know if anything's going on in Twitch. Oh, we got some stuff over on Twitch too. Cool. So we got Tony on microphone.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to uh, Twitch because somebody said, "Hey, sis,"
Oh,
and
I think that might be my brother tuning in.
possibly.
All right. Well, thank you. That's awesome. I appreciate you tuning in. That's cool. So I got a little blushed there. You know, it's interesting. You know, like I said, having the family and the love and the support like that is so awesome. Thank you, everybody who tunes in. But I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about seasonal depression. With it being gloomier out, he sent me a picture actually of snow. They got hit with snow already, and you know we're here with in our true Michigan fall fashion, the rain and everything just kind of hitting us, and it's getting colder, and we're starting to feel that and whatnot. And when the seasons start to change like that, there are people that do experience seasonal depression or sad, I guess is another thing that they call it. And I watched this growing up with different people in my life having this, and it's really hard to see people struggle with that kind of thing. And I'm not really 100% sure if that's something that I have experienced as well. I kind of feel different when it gets to this, but it could be too because I want to just curl up in a blanket and stay indoors when it starts to get winter because I like it. I think it's pretty, but I am not good with the cold. So for me, it could very much just be like I'm home, I'm staying home kind of thing, and I know we've all experienced that too. So and with another thing though, I wanted to mention our local library here in Cairo actually offers those lamps that do help with seasonal depression. So that might be something that your local library might also have that you're able to check out like a book. It's kind of interesting. I think it was like 12 days that you could use it, or maybe it was a little bit longer. But you just take your library card in and you're able to actually rent one of these or take one of the, you know, check it out like a book. It's really cool. So that might be something to look into or to look online and purchase one of these for yourself if it's something that you deal with. So, and I think there's another thing that goes with vitamins and things like that as well. What do you got over there?
I, it just popped back up. That's why I lost it.
Oh,
It's Retro Rab Atomic, and it said he said it. It is. It's your brother. So yeah.
thank you.
It's retro underscore rab underscore atomic.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome. Thank
cool
you.
name, by the way.
Yeah, that's really cool. Very cool. So I wanted to touch a little bit of base on that because it was something that I was thinking about, and I wanted to pull up a little bit of, well, there's different signs of it. Again, I am not here to diagnose or treat or anything like that. So this is something that has come up. It's talking about like different signs of what seasonal affective disorder is actually what it's called. So, and that's why it's also called SAD. So there's 10 different common signs of it. Um, Disabling fatigue, sudden lack of energy. Also, and this better not be a click. Yeah, it is a click thing. So that happens when you go live, you know. And that's another thing that I've talked about. When you go live and you do a show like this, you are very, I don't want to say vulnerable, but kind of because you're in the moment of everything. I get going and I stumble over words. I do all that kind of stuff. But, you know, part of this show has been a growth thing for me as well because I'm able to go, okay, I am a human being and I do these kind of things. I trip up over words. But I'm thankful, though, that I still have people that tune in and support and are like, hey, I'm human too. I do that stuff too. That's cool. You know what I mean? So,
Speaking of that,
yeah,
it is episode 51.
that is just crazy. I can't believe that we were already on episode 1. That is very cool. Or 51, not 1. See, there I go. I'm doing it. So, seasonal affective disorder, also called SAD, is a type of depression that comes and goes with the seasons, typically starting in the late fall and early winter and going away during the spring and summer. Depressive episodes linked to summer can occur, but are much less common than winter episodes of sad, which I can imagine also goes with our time changes and, having less daylight, the vitamin D, all that kind of thing too. So, and when it looks gloomy out and the things, when the trees, all the leaves are gone and everything just gets kind of darker, that's kind of when I start to feel a little bit like, I'm better going and staying at home or, whatever. So with that being said, it was just something I was thinking about, and I just kind of want to touch base on that. And also, what do you do when you get into these kind of slumps? When you feel like you're burnt out, you're tired. We talked last week about me going through adrenal fatigue and different things like that, and how it really does just wear you down. But I also talked about I ended up finding the adrenal fatigue supplements, which actually helped me. Again, that was just something that I am trying personally. But it seems that it's been helping me for my body type and what I am lacking and needing. And, being able to do something like that and feeling waking up and ready to go instead of being at work wanting to cry under my desk, which I talked about. Because I felt that I was so tired, and no matter how many cups of coffee I was drinking, no matter what, I just couldn't wake up. And here I am at work going, how am I going to paint names on bulbs? How am I going to do what I'm supposed to be doing? And it's frustrating.
Just do it under your desk while you're crying. It's okay.
Right. Somebody will come along and be like, Heather, you okay?
Smear the glitter on your
Right,
face.
exactly.
And just
That's my Christmas war paint this time of year. But it is frustrating though when you get to that point and you feel so burnt out. And then when you start to feel that burnout and you go, well, how am I supposed to stay creative? Especially for somebody that has the creative, that influence in your life, that you make things, you create things, you do music, you do, art, any kind of thing like that. That's frustrating when you don't even want to do that kind of stuff.
running a media group for multiple podcasts and being an executive producer.
Right, there you go. Yeah, it's hard to find that fire to keep on going sometimes. So what do you do when you lose that? I mean, for me it's been I'll find something else to do, and then that kind of just jump starts it to continue doing things. But I found that now through this growing process of everything, that I've started to go, wait a minute, I got a responsibility. But like I said, some days when I'm really exhausted, no matter how much you want to do something, sometimes you just can't. And we were talking about that before the show about just, sometimes just having to relax and take the day off and not do stuff is very therapeutic for you. And it's hard, especially when you are constantly going. You have a million and one things that you want to do, but you're going to push yourself so far that you're not going to be able to do that, and then you might miss work, you might miss something that you were planning on doing. I kind of been being careful a little bit and with my energy because of Shipshawana coming up and everything else going on. I can't really afford to miss work for sure because that's what I am, that's my income right now. And I felt before the show, I'm going, I'm kind of tired today. I'm feeling it today. Um, but I still knew that I wanted to be here because I didn't want to miss the people that come in and join me on Sundays. I didn't want to miss that. And I knew too that I'm not going to be here next week. So, I find that drive in that kind of thing. So it's pushing forward with that and trying to find where that drive is, where that, how you can tap into that to keep on going. It's hard sometimes. It's extremely hard because if you think about it, not only are we facing our day-to-day stuff, but we're facing the traumas that come up in our lives and different things that we have to face, whether it be financial burdens or, losing somebody or, losing a job or not being able to go to work at this time or whatever it is that you're facing. We all face these things differently. And we have to remember that. And I always talk about trying not to be so hard on yourself when you face these kind of things, because that's even worse when you start getting down on yourself about this stuff, because that's a lot to put on your shoulders. And I've been there. We've been there. I think we've all been there before. And I think back of all of that and the growing process of it, though. In the moment when things happen, we are so quick to shut down, to maybe shut down from other people, stop doing the things that we love, whatever it is. And it's easy to put that stall there and not be able to function because you just got hit with something that was hard to take on. But as you start to get back to yourself the best that you can through these things, you grow through what you go through. And I know that sounds like so cliche because it is. It is a saying or whatever you a quote or whatever. It does sound really cliche, but it's true though. Really, honestly, I've been through a lot of different things in life, and I feel like from where I was to where I'm at now has been a huge growth thing. Like I feel back years now, and I feel like even into my 30s, I was very young, very naive on things, and still learning a lot of stuff because I don't know if it just I wasn't ready to face these things, but when I was forced to, it was like, okay, I've got some growing up I got to do. I got to face these things. I have things I have to do to continue to move forward, and I think we've all kind of faced that before. I need to take a drink here really quick. I don't know if you got something.
Nope.
No, that's okay. That's no problem.
I mean, I can pull the picture up of me.
Pull the picture. So that's Tony. He's
Yeah,
talking.
there we go.
My executive producer, and helps with the sound and everything else. And I want to thank you for that. Also, guys, I forgot to mention, not only are we on YouTube, but we're also on Twitch and solidstateradio.net, which is exciting. They re-air me and all of the podcasts that we have going on here with Don't Make This Weird. This is my brain, and we have more stuff coming in, which is really exciting, and I'm happy about that. So if you guys have not joined Strange Friends Media, please go ahead and join it. There's a lot of community stuff still in there and promotion of things and whatnot, because we like to be able to help promote other people and local whatever, help support, and which makes me think about on Don't Make This Weird, coming up Thursday we do have a band coming on, and we like to be able to support that too, because music is very therapeutic. And I like to say that because you have to find those things that keep you going, especially if you're going through something where seasonal depression or you're just exhausted. Music, I think, is an amazing outlet, very amazing outlet. So, also Guitar Fridays. Sorry, I forgot to mention that as well on all the stuff that we got going on here. So, one of the things too that I've found that works good for me is I have routine. And routine can seem like it's so super boring. Like I used to hate routine as much as I hated eating leftovers. And I know that it sounds funny, but in a way, I'm kind of like a creature of habit and not liking change. But in a way, I'm also like, no, I can't have the same stuff all the time. It's such a strange thing, but that's part of like growing and learning myself as well. But the routine has been incredible for me. I do journaling, and I read in the morning. I do my own. I have my own little time set aside with my coffee, maybe one of the cats, whatever, and I chill out and I relax in the morning. And man, that brings me so much peace. And in doing so, I have the my regular journal that I write in, just to kind of get stuff out and put it out there, push it out, whatever it is that I got to. And then also I have another book that I picked up, I think, at Barnes and Noble, and it is 3,000 questions or something about me. I will post a picture later on Survivor Girl. But it's kind of interesting because it makes you think about things that you like or don't like. And it's something kind of cool if you wanted to share with, for instance, a family member or, Adam or whatever, your loved one, your significant other, to kind of learn a little bit more about you. And I kind of felt weird at first when I picked it up because I was like, do I really want to write stuff about who I am? Like, does that feel weird? But it's kind of interesting because I'm learning a lot of stuff about myself as well. So I got that routine in, and then I at least try to get 10 minutes of exercise, if not more, or creative movement, which I like to call it, because exercise just sounds awful to me. Like, who wants to do that? And also, being able to go for a walk or music. I honestly, I blast my mom's old CDs when I'm relaxing or whatever I'm doing, and I chill with that, and I take in the moment because we rush so much in life. We all have a million and one things that we have to do. We have jobs. We have to make sure that our bills are paid. We have to do all that grown up boring stuff. And, but we also get to, if you look at it, the silver lining of it, the spinning it around and going, okay, but I get to do this because I have this, and that in my life. So that's cool too. And that's another thing is trying to look at the perspective of things. I've had a really hard time with that in life. I've done a lot of things in my life where I feel like I couldn't look at the brighter side of it. I couldn't stop and look at the whole picture of things and go, oh, that's what it is, not the one sidedness or the negative part of it. And it seemed like I always would pick that out. And since kind of the past couple of years, I've started to find out that I can pick through and find out the differences in the situation instead of just going right to the negative, which is also very good for your soul and for that peacefulness. That's hard to find sometimes, and I feel like I'm just like, oh, I should just be moving in with the hippie camp and all that stuff because I like the natural stuff. I like the feel good stuff. I like to be able to relax. I like to find the stuff that's good for myself, and and that's not selfish. That's not selfish, and I bring that up again because I think a lot of times that we feel when we go to do stuff for ourselves that it's selfish. Maybe it's going and getting a massage. Maybe it's going and paying whatever to get your hair done. But, for a long time in my life, I went, I can't spend that on myself. That's just no way. But you have to. You have to be able to take care of yourself, whether it's that or whatever it is to make yourself feel good.
Self-care is
So,
so important.
yeah, I mean, and it really is. And it's like I said, we talked about this last week. We talk about it. It seems like it's an ongoing thing on these episodes, but it's important though. Self care is very important. Taking that little drive, taking the trip, going and see the colors, going and seeing music or whatever. Like I said, our world is upside down right now with everything. And it's hard because everybody feels differently about everything. And that's okay. It's just hard to maneuver sometimes because we don't really know what's right, what's wrong. And that kind of gets a little bit rough on people as well. It's a lot of differences. Going back to work and doing these things, it's adjustment.
It's a callback to Stranger Things, the Upside
Oh my gosh, knock it off. But really though, it is different. It's a whole different world, and things that we never thought that we would miss, we miss now. And things that we couldn't stand before, again, we miss now. And things that we just, a smile from somebody, when I'm at work, we wear a mask and whatever, and it's so hard to tell what the other person is feeling. You can't see it. I mean, some people are very good at, you can see it in their eyes, their smile in their eyes, whatever you want to say, but it's hard. And I just wanted to stand in the middle of where I work and go, I miss your smile. Like, I just wanted to yell it like a weirdo, but I don't care because that's generally what I was feeling at that moment. I miss seeing people's smiles. I understand that we have to try to be safe and whatnot, but I'm just like, just a genuine smile from somebody would just light up my day right now. And it's crazy. A hug, whatever. It's different. It's so different. And trying to not only keep up with your self care, but maneuvering that and everything else you got going on in your life can be hard. So again, you try to find that, what is it, your passion, trying to find that drive, trying to figure out, what is it that I need to do to make myself feel better, to make somebody else feel better. There's all kinds of different things that I think we're all facing right now, and it's hard. It's really hard. And it would have been easy for me just to stay home in my PJs and be like, all right, I'm just taking the day off. But sometimes you just can't take the day off, or it's trying to push yourself just a little bit, not too much. I'm not going overboard anymore. I can't right now until I start to heal and do those things I need to. But I'm also finding the difference, like things to be proud of. Have you ever just stopped and thought about that? Like things that you should be proud of for yourself, things that you've done, and I'm not talking about showboating or anything like that, but it's okay to be proud of yourself for things that you've accomplished. It's awesome to be able to share those things with other people and to be proud, and then for them to share things with you and go, oh wow, that's really cool, and I think we need to do more of that. I really do. Because sometimes you feel like, oh man, I don't want to show off this. But it's actually not really showing off. Genuinely, if somebody really is interested and cares, it's cool to share that kind of stuff. I don't know. It just makes me, I don't know. The smile right now is genuine. I feel good about that.
Rodney's around here somewhere. I know he is. He's the
He's
marketing guru.
my marketing guru Yeah,
Right.
really, really. No, he's around there somewhere. But and like he had mentioned on Thursday night, he's like your jewelry, this and that, and I'm so proud of you and all that. So I was like, that's cool, thank you. Like genuinely, before I might not have known how to take that compliment, but now I'm like, really, that's awesome, thank you. Like I feel good about that. And I sometimes it's hard to say that when you don't know how to be proud of yourself. I feel like I'm kind of all over tonight with all of this stuff, and I really am, honestly, guys. It's been a really great week, and I'm starting to feel better, and I'm starting to get that energy back, and seeing all the really awesome things that are happening and the changes in my life that are positive. So it is easy to be kind of all over the map and all these different things because I've never been at this particular part in my life.
Now, what's been helping you find the motivation on the days where you just don't have it?
I think because of I'm getting more sleep now, and I am trying to take better care of myself, paying attention to that and not overdoing it. That little bit of extra sleep and figuring that stuff out has helped tremendously. But, you know, with Survivor Girl, it really wanting to do this show was more or less to be able to help other people feel that they're not alone. It was about being raw and about being myself. And the motivation for this to make sure that I came and did this tonight was not only just thinking about not having a show next weekend, but because I do have people that follow and that do listen, and I've had people inbox me and say, thank you, I feel like I'm not alone. So I felt no matter if I didn't have a particular subject to talk about tonight, that I would get into something that somebody would need to hear. And so that right there is my drive, especially for Survivor Girl, is being human and being real, being myself. It's that's part of that's a growing up kind of thing too, because before I never really wanted to sit in front of a camera. I absolutely didn't want anything to do with the camera. I kind of just hid behind. For instance, I hid behind my weight for a lot of my life. That was a big thing. Is nobody would pay attention to me, and I'd be okay with that. But then I'd be like, wait a minute, nobody's paying attention to me. You know what I mean? Like not in a bad way, but as in like I always knew that I could do stuff. Like I had creativity in me because our family is extremely talented and creative. So I knew that I had that in me, but I also hid behind being overweight and I didn't feel like anybody would take me serious. But in the same sense, I kind of got comfortable with that, if that makes any sense. It's a really weird sabotaging kind of thing, right?
And then you met me.
Well, I mean, not just meeting you, but in general, I started to get confidence. I started to feel like I found where I belonged in a way, and I continued to move through that. And then I just made my decisions on what I wanted to do for my life and how I wanted to feel and how I wanted to continue to keep on improving. And, it's been a long process, but
Well, I know some of the conversations that you and I had about that is, you're like, you're a jerk. And I'm like, why? You're like, because your answer is, what are you going to do about it?
mm-hmm.
And I'm, legitimate question. What are you going to do about it? And you're like, I don't want to do anything about it. I want to be sad.
I kind of felt that a lot. Like, but honestly, though, you would bring that question to me. Well, what are you going to do about it? It's like, wait a minute. I'm coming to you and I'm telling you my problems. What are you going to do to help me? And I think that's what we feel a lot of times, though. Honestly, let's talk about that. Like, I feel like I did that a lot. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I did. I did that a lot. Woe is me. My life is poop. Whatever. I guess I said that. Help me out. And I realize I did that now. And it's not really a joke because honestly, when you don't realize that you are that self-loathing and that you don't know how to do better, how do you do better? How do you get better? And then I feel like a lot for me, a lot of things were what's happened in my life. And I went, okay, I got to grow up. I got to figure this out. I got to do things on my own. And once I finally found that and I got my footing for it, it was like, okay, I can do this. So I try to be kind of a little bit more understanding with people if I see them struggling with those kinds of things, because I've been there and it's not an easy thing. It's really not. It's not easy to go through that. And I think a lot of times people don't understand or don't realize that that's not a very good way to live. When you're expecting other people to always help you out. And I don't know if it was really that I expected other people to help me out, but it's just like it just happened. And I think after that happened, I kept going with it. And when I would deal with bad stuff, it was like, what can you guys do to help me? It's like, no, that's not how it goes. So when you presented that and you were like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? It's like, wait a minute, this isn't comfortable. But you're right. What are you going to do about it? And that's the same thing with facing this kind of stuff. What are you going to do about it? What is it that you need to do to find your passion, to find out where you belong, or what you need to do, or how about what you want to do? Not necessarily what you need to do. What do you want to do? You know?
You be careful with all that empowerment stuff, because if you turn out to be like Heather, it's I'm going to become an astronaut who drives an ice cream truck to
Oh
the
my
nearest
God.
space station, because the world is my playground and I can do it all.
When you find out that you can do stuff, yeah. It's hilarious. Let's talk about a little story. When I started out doing Survivor Girl, I had Becky on the show with me, and Tony's always been part of the show, and we were doing the Leading Ladies Music Festival that popped up, and I was like, we need to be there. I want to help people. I want to show people that this is Survivor Girl. This is what we're doing. I want to help empower other women, other men. The show is not just for ladies; it's for men, women. And I wanted to be there to show them that there is a support. There. This is real. This is things that have happened in my life. Her life at the time, and everybody else that has been on. We've had some incredible guests on, men and women, and so I was like, we got to do this, and it was just a split second. We got to do this. And first started, I'm like, okay, well, when I found out how much it was to be the sponsor to be there, I was like, ooh, that's $1,000 to be there, but I can do this. We can do this. We got this. So, I got the $100. I had, someone donate that anonymously, and then all of a sudden, I got in talking with another amazing person, and she was like, "Oh, that's weird. Here it is." I'm like, "Oh," and it was like 2 hours from making the decision to be there to getting the somebody to sponsor, which was incredible. And then we were on it. There we go. But and then I was like, we need baskets. We need baskets to make money so that we can help with money or put money towards helping other people, whatever. And then I decided we were supposed to do a meeting. And I was like, okay, I'm doing really good. I'm not going to make it to the meeting. I'm going to be late because I'm getting all kinds of different things because I was excited. And there's my passion. And I'm going around to places in Frankenmuth. Like, okay. So I go around to Frankenmuth and I start talking to the different businesses. And they're like, sure, we'll donate. What? Really? So then I tried the next one and yeah, sure, we'll give you something. Seriously? So I was like, I'm on a roll here. Let's go. So I kept going around, and we ended up having two really awesome baskets full of amazing things. We had Got Killed put in. What's the game store over there? Sorry, you know it more than I do.
The stadium.
The stadium. They had put in. We had all kinds of different people. Lynn from the Dig Cafe, when that was around, she put in. It was just a really cool experience. And I was like, I'm doing something. Like, I feel comfortable enough to talk to people and ask. This is crazy. This is cool. So, we had those, and the people that won the baskets were super excited about it. And it was just a really cool experience to be able to do that. So, there's that drive. And you talk about, I'm going to drive an ice cream truck to the moon because I can. it kind of goes hand in hand with that kind of stuff, you know.
That's not over exaggerating, by the way. You give Heather the opportunity to literally make the world her playground. That's exactly what she does. And I'm proud to say that I always go along for the ride.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But you know, it's a weird thing because I grew up really shy, you know, and if my brother's still listening, he can attest to this. Like I was pretty shy as a kid. But we were always like he played music and we always did stuff and it's kind of funny to look back at that and be like the shy kid and not to be to where I'm at now, like doing this kind of stuff, you know, announcing bands and you know, interacting and meeting people and networking and doing all these crazy things. Like I would never have imagined that if you go back to when I was younger because I was really shy and very kept to myself. And you know, another thing with growing up and being overweight is I really did try to keep to myself. I didn't I don't think I interacted as much. I did, but it was still self-conscious. Like anytime I'd walk into a room, I always thought that was the first thing that they'd seen about me instead about who I was. So it was an interesting thing.
He said painfully shy.
I was. I was. He's not wrong. I really was. But you know, as I started to get older, like I did theater, I did debate, which was crazy and out of my realm. Oh man,
But look at you now.
look at me now. Which you know, I hope he doesn't mind. I know you're listening now, but I want to give a shout out to. He helped me out a lot, like growing up, and I'm gonna get a little emotional. Real. Nope. So anyway, because this is what it is. This is me being real. Um, here we go. I'm thankful that I had the support from him growing up because he was just an incredible musician and brother. And so anyway, I just feeling that and like he said, I was painfully shy. We did music sometimes and different stuff and you know, I always looked up to him and thought, man, he is an incredible musician and artist and all kinds of cool things and to have that kind of influence growing up, that helped out a lot to be kind of where I'm at right now. You know, and just all the stuff that I've gone through and the different to see just how like he could get on stage or whatever it was that he was doing and have that excitement. So yeah, there's two of us out there, you know. When he gets his mindset on something, it's the same kind of thing. And I don't think you guys have met yet, but it's the same kind of thing. There is two of us out there, but
So can I ask when both of you were gonna share the stage? Because I've had the honor of sharing the stage with you a couple of different times, and I gotta say, girl got a set of pipes. And if you don't believe me, believe the rest of the audience that were like, girl.
I mean that's a it's interesting because like I said sorry about the moment there. No, I'm not sorry. This is me. I'm not gonna apologize for that.
Thank
but
you for understanding.
Right, thank you for understanding. We were gonna talk about that too. Um no, it's a good emotion though. Like it's a good feeling because I growing up with having somebody like that in my life to see and go, that's my hero in a way, you know, because it just incredible stuff, and it's just it's cool to be able to share that kind of thing, you know, with it doesn't matter whatever. It's cool to be able to share that kind of thing with somebody that you love. So that's cool. But I was gonna talk about the sorry thing. I'm glad that you put that up. When you go through something in life traumatic, whatever, you know, and I think we all have kind of faced these kind of things. It's easy for the trauma response of sorry. And I have always had that issue of always saying sorry, even when it was something that I didn't do wrong. And I'm working through that. I kind of talked about that last week a little bit. Is I'm changing it up to say thank you instead of I'm sorry. Because a lot of the times when something comes up, it's like an instant split that my brain's like, oh, what did I do wrong? And it's like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. It's just that trauma response. And I'm trying now to say thank you. Thank you for understanding. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. different things like that. And I'm hoping that with talking about that, other people that have that issue of just instantly saying sorry, that they can maybe change it up and go, well, thank you for understanding, I appreciate it. Adam and I had talked about that. Very understanding, loving, caring, best person I can think of to have beside me. He is very good at the positivities and all that, and I've talked about this a lot, because it's life. This is my part of my life. But he had said, why are you saying sorry? You didn't do anything wrong. Like, why are you even saying sorry? It's not your fault.
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it? Right. What are you going to do about it? But, he didn't say, he's just like, why are you saying sorry? You're not the person that baked the Cheetos and they were broken or burnt or whatever. Like, oh, it's not my fault, is it?
Tacos fall apart all the time, and we love tacos.
Right. So, but it's a good practice to start doing. And that's part of the growing thing, There's a lot of growth. And I'm hoping that anybody who's listening right now, if you've gone through stuff and you see that growth in yourself, to be proud of yourself about it, because that's huge. It is huge, and it's okay to be proud of yourself at growing through things and doing things for your life, doing things that are tailored for you. I used to feel like that was a selfish thing, but honestly, it's the best thing that you can do, is when you kind of put stuff off to the side and go, okay, I'm not going to make everybody happy. I'm not going to be able to be everybody's cup of tea. And for a long time, I felt like that's what I need to do. And you just can't. And you can't live that way either. It's not any way to live. So I just kind of decided, okay, this is me, all my quirks and awkwardness and whatever it is. I'm going to celebrate that and be who I am. So I thought you were clicking because you had something.
Nope, just changing scenes for
okay.
just the audio listeners.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Trying to keep it interesting.
Yeah, that is true, because we do have on Solid State Radio people that just listen into the audio. So again, thank you guys out there at Solid State Radio for re-airing and doing all that. I really appreciate it. I know you guys couldn't see ugly cry face, and it's okay. But again, I feel a lot more comfortable with just being me, just doing this kind of stuff and accepting that. And that's been a huge part of growing. And, a lot of times with the things that I've talked about on here, it really is me putting my heart on my sleeve and just being honest. And I don't think there's a lot of people out there that are brave enough to do those kinds of things. I really wasn't in the beginning, I don't think. But then when I realized what it meant to be a survivor, to be somebody who's gone through different things in life, to be able to share those things with other people, and what it meant to be human, about whether you make mistakes or you're not on point all the time, or, like the one episode, taking off my makeup in front of everybody. It's just showing that raw reality of things. And I don't think there's enough of that in this world. I really don't, because, we look up to people in Hollywood and different actresses and actors and stuff. And then, there's people out there, when they see their true colors, like, they're so shocked and downplay them and talk, bad, it's, I can't imagine being in the spotlight like that all the time and having people, oh, she looks like she gained 5 pounds, or, did you see her with no makeup on? Holy, or whatever, I'm just speaking from what I think it would be like to be out there in front of everybody all the time. And that's why I kind of just am happy that I can be who I am in front of you guys as I am, because I don't try to hide any of it. It really is about life and about surviving and all these different things. And I'm hoping to get more guests back on the show so that we can talk to them. Maybe a follow-up, hopefully, with Denny and a couple different people. If you guys haven't had a chance, all of the episodes are archived on YouTube on Survivor Girl Podcast channel. You can go back and watch those, all 51 of them, which is awesome. Thank you guys again for watching and being here through these episodes. It's a lot of raw stuff, especially with the guests that have been on. They've talked about a lot of things that are very uncomfortable to talk about, but are very brave to be able to do so. They share their stories, and it's not as in trying to find or have people feel sorry or feel bad for any of them. They share their stories to help empower other people and to inspire and uplift other people that have maybe gone through it or have experienced it, to know that they're not alone. That's one of the big things about Survivor Girl, is to connect with people that have gone through some stuff and are able to share their stories, so other people would know, well, okay, maybe I can make it through this. Maybe I should just keep on trying or not give up. And that's a big thing about it, is not only growing and seeing different day-to-day things. And it's not always about depression and anxiety and different things like that. There's all kinds of different things that I've faced and I've shared with you guys, and when I had a co-host, what she shared with you, and what all the guests have shared as well. I mean, it's been a really crazy roller coaster of different things. I mean, we've talked with people who have experienced abuse and cancer and all kinds of different things. Denny, he had been electrocuted and surviving through that. That was an incredible survivor story. It's just, there's so many different people in this world that have experienced things, and it really is about sharing that to help empower and know that you can thrive and survive through things. So again, I'm thankful that you guys are able to tune in and share and listen. And I know tonight kind of probably feels like a bit of a ramble and all over the place, but that's kind of where I'm at tonight. In life right now, there's so many things that are going on, and I'm thankful for it. I'm very thankful. There's a lot of great things that are happening in my life, and I count those blessings, because I can't imagine being where I'm at right now after the past 10 years. And I try to look at the next 10 and go, man, I wonder what the next 10 I can do with the next 10 years. But I'm thankful for the moments that I've had now.
Well, and I think that goes hand in hand with some of the stuff you talked about in a few episodes past, of simply having an attitude of appreciation and gratitude
Yeah.
because you've made it this far. You've survived through a dumpster fire of things,
Hmm.
and yet here you are, still topside. And any day you're topside is a day to go through and celebrate. So, being thankful, being appreciative, having an attitude of gratitude, going, yeah, I don't have all the answers. Yes, my segues suck, but you know what? I'm thankful and I appreciate the ability to do this every single time I can do this.
Oh, absolutely. Having that the gratification is really, it's made a difference, being grateful for things. And like I said before, the positivity, finding the positivities in life instead of looking at all the negatives. Like, for instance, Adam was taking me to work last week, and he had to go to work as well. And we had a bad storm the night before. Well, there was a big, huge branch in the tree, and there was no way getting around it. We ran it over. There was nothing else we could do, and there was that. So I kind of had that instinct that something else was going to happen from that. But at the time, nothing was wrong. The tires were good. We drove downstate and went and visited our parents and everything. And we were even, took the expressway home, going 75, whatever, going down the road and everything. Nothing. We had no problems. We made it home safe and sound. Turned around and went to Emily City yesterday to go to the store, and we did some moves and different things, and drove all the way. That's an hour. Drove home, and we got home, and when he was turning into the parking or our parking lot, it's when he turned, it sounded like a weird noise, and I'm like, what in the heck is that? But at the time, it was dark out, and we just went in. So this morning, I look out and I go, wow, the car is leaning. I think we got a flat tire. But before, I would have been like crying about it, and no, we're never going to be able to fix. And this is really, honestly, this is how I used to be. We can't fix this. What are we going to do? I'm not going to be able to go to work. And like a million and one things would just happen. The stress thick would happen. I used to call it the Chicken Little, the sky is falling kind of situation. But it really, legitly, that's how I used to be, so high strung and stressed out. And so I just looked at it and I went, okay, well, call around. It's Sunday, but let's call around and see where we can get in. I'll call. We'll have it towed. We got towing, and then we'll just. He worked last week. I worked last week, and everything worked. Everything worked out. But instead of like having that stress and that freak out moment, I relaxed about it and we solved it. We both worked together as a team. We solved it. We got it done. It was done within 20 minutes. I'd say probably about an hour altogether with the tow and everything, and good to go. Back on the road. I can go to work tomorrow. There's no problems, you know. But before, I was such a huge. I called myself a stress ball because in a moment I would just, what are we gonna do, and freak out, and that is not good for somebody. And I imagine that's part of why I have the issues with my adrenaline or adrenal glands, whatever. I imagine that's the problem, that why I have a lot of that, because I've been such a stress ball throughout my entire life, and so it was good to be able to just relax and work together and get it solved, and we're good to go now. But you know, at the time, it freaked me out. But when it happened, when we ran over the branch, I actually did the breathing and calmed down instead of freaking out about that too. So I mean, I'm learning, and there's different things that you can learn that will help you out as well. Again, not a doctor, and I can't prescribe. I recommend either, like I said on the past episodes, going to your family doctor, going to a homeopathic if that's something that you choose, but always seek the advice of somebody who is a trained professional or licensed. But for me, breathing it out and not having the anxiety and that stress, that helps out a lot for me. I absolutely love meditation and yoga, but that's something that I found that works for me. We're all different when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I'm thankful that I've grown to that point to actually research, and find these things out that work for myself. And that's a hard thing too, because you never know exactly what is going to work. So, you got anything over? Oh, okay. Yes, I asked that a lot because you look down, and we both run. He does Twitch for me, and I do YouTube when we're on, and same thing when we do the other podcasts. So that's why I asked. Got anything for me? Got any questions? Because I like that too. When you jump in and you have questions on different things as well. So over here on YouTube, I've got Adam saying, "Can't wait to meet your brother." Said we lagged just a little bit, and also thanks for being awesome. Well, thank you. See, love. That's love. Jumps on my podcast and supports. You know, that's cool though. It's cool to have that kind of dynamic. You know, he does this fishing thing, and I'm there, and we kind of support each other, and that's what it's about.
Well, that's what I was going to mention about Twitch
Hmm.
and working on the achievements
Oh yeah,
so we can meet our goals for Survivor Girl.
yeah. There are achievements to be met on Twitch, which is awesome. I like the platform over there on Twitch because you can get achievements. There are different things that you can do over there. There are some games, whatever you can play while you are listening to the podcast, which is cool. You can go on. They are only archived up to 2 weeks, though. The episodes will go away after that. They kind of fade out because Twitch is more of a platform that used to be for mainly just gaming and whatnot. So we are new to that. There's a lot more podcasts and different things on there as well, which is cool. There's all kinds of different things that you guys can check out on Twitch, on solidstateradio.net, and everything else that we got going on. So thank you guys again for all of the support and everything that you guys do. And so my brother is now on YouTube saying can't wait to meet him too. That's awesome. Thank you for jumping on over here.
Hey, really? You come on, come back to Twitch, Adam, get on Twitch.
See, they love me. But thank you guys for being here and supporting. And like I said, I can't say that enough. I honestly, because from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate it, and it feels good. Like I said, I have my moments. I do my thing. I talk a lot about all kinds of stuff. I'm all over the place with the podcast, but sometimes it's for reasons that I don't know when I'm talking to different people, and the messages that I've got in the inbox before from people saying thank you, and that's really what it's about. It's not about me. It's not about me sitting here on camera talking to you guys. It's really about for those that need the message of whatever it is I'm talking about, whatever it is that we discuss, and whenever we have a guest on and any of that stuff. It really is to put that awareness out there. Uh-oh.
Your brother just said I'm a multilingual streamer.
There we go. Awesome. Very cool.
Good. Stay on Twitch.
I love it. So, I hope too that you'll come and check out Don't Make This Weird, because we do a lot of weird things. I jump on and he'll get on guitar, I'll sing sometimes, we do all kinds of different stuff. It is definitely a different platform compared to this. This is more warm fuzzy, not so warm fuzzy, real life stuff. Whereas on Don't Make This Weird, we are a little bit all over the place, crazy, laughing, having a good time. I love it when we have bands on. We have a band coming on this week, and I'm excited about that. Again, like I said, music therapy. love it. And that's part of my thing too. Is I have that little kalimba and I play that as well. So,
Well, and there's also Tuesday night rants with This Is My Brain.
oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Guitar Fridays,
Mhm.
which all kinds of shenanigans goes on there. I drink my Jesus wine.
There you go.
And then Saturdays, sometimes Sundays, This Is My Brain podcast
Hmm.
that streams, and you can find those all on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch because we're sharing
SolidStateRadio.net.
and SolidStateRadio.net.
We're all over the place.
We're like herpes. You can't get rid of us.
Oh my god, you're crazy. Anyway, we thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. I am going to go ahead and round it out here. I am thankful that you guys have all tuned in and have joined in on the chat and everything. That really, really makes me feel good. And I'm glad that I ended up getting dressed and coming over here to do the podcast, even though I felt like I could take a nap and be done for the night. I'm thankful though that I had that to keep me going. You know, when it is you find something that you love and you're passionate about, it's great to be able to continue getting up and doing that. Be kind to yourselves this week going forward. I will not be here next Sunday. I will be in Indiana doing my thing with Dragonfly Boutique, and I'm very excited for that. Again, the gratitude and the feelings of all of that I cannot express enough. So, as always, you guys, life is best lived.